Are you a beginner in Power Apps and you're not sure what type of application to make? Well, in this video, we're going to go over the different types of Power Apps you can make and their pros and cons and where to get started. All right, if you're just getting started in Power Apps is Microsoft's low-code business application development tool. So it is a platform where you can make customized applications for your businesses, but for your internal users. That's pretty important. So let's get started with the different types. There are Canvas apps, model-driven apps, and Power Apps for teams. Now, the first two I've mentioned are going to be the most popular, with Canvas apps being the most popular. So I mentioned Canvas apps are more popular. So you are giving your users the ability to create, read, update, or delete data from a data source. This is a fun acronym we like to call CRUD. Create, read, update, and delete. Now, you do not have to give your users all four of those functionalities. You can mix and match as needed. You can have different people who have different access and different capabilities. So Canvas app being the most popular is because it has the most access to other data sources. If you are creating a Canvas app, you can bring in data from over 1,500 different Power Platform connectors. And you can even mix and match data. You can bring in data from Excel, from a SharePoint list, from Dataverse, from SQL, all in one application. And that's what makes Canvas apps the most popular. Canvas apps are also the most popular because you are in complete UI control. You can make your Canvas app look however you like. You are the master artist and the app is your canvas, hence the name, Canvas apps. Now, Canvas apps are where we get into the low-code aspect of the Power Platform. Because to create a Canvas app, you do have to utilize the coding language in Power Apps, which is Power Effects. But it's a very easy to learn coding language and it's very similar to Excel. Now, Canvas apps, like I said, you're in complete UI control. So if you're getting started creating a Canvas app, the first thing you need to know is what style of application are you going to create? Because when it comes to Canvas apps, there are three distinct styles. Starting off, you can create a phone style application. Now, when you are choosing the style of application, or rather the format, you are not saying, hey, my users are only going to be able to access this application on a phone. No. As you can see, I've brought mine up on my computer. So you can access a phone-sized application on a phone, but also on a computer. You'll just see I've got some blank space on the side because it's showing me a thin version of a screen similar to like what your phone would look like. So why would you create a phone-sized application? You would create a phone-sized application if your users are predominantly on the go. So this is your type of application that you know your users are going to be accessing from their phone, from the Power Apps application available in iOS and Android. So it is a separate application you do have to download, but once you do, you have access to all of the apps that you have access to on your phone. So here I've got a form and I can write to my data source. So this phone application is actually hooked up to a SharePoint list. So I have the ability to connect to a SharePoint list from a Canvas application. And that's one of the big reasons that Canvas apps are so popular is the freedom to connect to whatever data source you might already be using at your organization. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is an expense reporting app. So I'm going to create a new expense so I can show you the other screen I have here. So I'm going to say that I am traveling, because that's the idea of this app, is you're traveling, you're out and about, you're out to dinner, and you need to submit an expense report. You don't want to have to submit 10 or 15 when you get back. So you're doing it on the go. So I'm going to say that I am in, let's say, North Carolina. And I am working for Sweetums. And this is going to be a meal. And it's going to cost me $20. Now, on my phone, if I tap to click this, it will allow me to use my phone's camera. But here on the computer, you can also search your documents. Now, I don't have a picture here, so I'm just going to go ahead and submit. And you will see that that got added here. And now I can view my past expense reports. I can see where some have been approved, some are still pending. And I have a little edit button here where I can edit that past report. So this is a phone application. It's very basic. You can make it as many screens as you like. You can make the functionality however you like. But with this, I kind of kept it simple because my users are accessing it on the go. They are just simply making reports. So I gave them the ability to create data and I gave them the ability to read past data. Now, this is just their data. So that's something else you get with Canvas apps. You are able to set this however you like. So if you want to filter it to where they can only see their own records, you can do that. If you want to allow them to see their records and other records, like other people's records, you absolutely can. It is completely however you want to design it. Now, if you want to know more about how to display your data and create your data, I will be continuing this series for Power Apps for Beginners, and we're going to discuss the different ways you can display data and the ways you can create data within Canvas apps. But let's continue exploring the different formats. So this is a phone style, but like I said, there are 3 different styles you can create. And the other style is going to be a tablet size. So if you create a tablet size application, it is going to roughly be about the size of a iPad. This one is going to be suited for users who do have tablets, but are also maybe predominantly using the computer. If your users are predominantly going to be accessing your application from a computer, I would go with a tablet size. You get the most space to work with. So you'll see it still doesn't fill out the screen the whole way, but you get a lot more space to work with. So this is a project management app, and I can see it says, welcome, Helen Devlin, that's me. And I can select a project to view the associated tasks. So over here, I can select a different project and I can see the associated tasks. I can see the task number, the priority, some details about it, who it was assigned to, and the check mark means that it's complete. If I want to create a new task for this project, I can hit my new task button and it takes me to this screen where I can see some details about the project and the last task that was completed, and I can create a new task for this project. Now, like I said, this is the type of application I would create if my users are predominantly going to be logging into my app from the computer, but that doesn't mean that they can't see this app on a phone. They absolutely can. So if you were to look at this app on a phone, you just have to turn your phone into landscape mode so you could see the whole screen, but you still have that access. There is a third style of application when it comes to Canvas apps. It's a little bit newer, and I say that even though it's been around for at least over a year, but it is a responsive style application. So responsive style applications are the best of both worlds. This is for if your user truly needs to be able to go between computer, tablet, or phone and have the application scale down properly to suit those different sizes. So a responsive style app, if you are on the computer, you will see it fills out the entire computer screen. But if I were to go to a tablet size, it would scale down to that tablet size. Now, if I were to look at it on a phone, there we go. You will see it's now scaling down to the phone. So now I can access this on the phone and everything is scaling properly as I'm moving through these different sizes. So this is what you can do if you truly, truly need your users to be able to transition seamlessly through the different size devices. Now, these are not beginner level, so I will say they do come with a lot of knowledge about container controls and how to have them scale properly, because Microsoft does give you some templates to work with to get you started, but you're really going to have to do a lot of work to get everything to move the way it needs to size the way it needs to, especially if you're working with text and you want the text to be larger on a larger screen and smaller on a phone screen. You do have to take that into consideration. But if it's something you truly need, you can build it. So that's our Canvas app. And you will be building Canvas apps if your data is anywhere besides Dataverse. Now, you can build Canvas apps when your data is in Dataverse, but if you are utilizing Dataverse, then you get access to another type of application, a model-driven app. But if you're like, Helen, what is Dataverse? I've never heard of this. Dataverse is an Azure SQL Server database that is hosted by Microsoft that allows you to store data that you can use in the Power Platform. So it is a place for you to store your data. It's a very easy to use relational database. So you are able to create relationships between your tables seamlessly. It is also very secure. So everything is role-based. So your users only have access to your tables based on the role they have been given. But if you are using Dataverse, you can absolutely still create a Canvas app. But like I said, you now have unlocked the ability to create a model-driven app. So model-driven apps are going to be our second most popular style of app. They can only be built off Dataverse data. So you only have access to model-driven apps if you're storing your data in Dataverse, because model-driven apps are going to be built off components that exist on your Dataverse tables, such as views and forms. So this is my model-driven app. Now, model-driven apps are generally always going to look the same. They have kind of a standardized template to where you have a navigation on the left. And when you click one of your tables, the first thing you're going to see is a view. So these views are stored on the tables themselves. The model-driven apps bring them in, and that's the first thing you see. This is how you're going to have your user read their data. So back to that CRUD functionality, create, read, update, delete. The view is going to be where they read the data. Now, you as the maker, you decide what is on the view. You can decide which columns, how the data is sorted, how it is filtered, but it's generally always going to look like this table grid. You've got columns, you've got rows. Now, you can bring in some customization. As you can see, I have some option set coloring on my choice columns, and I have also the ability to see child items in this view. So this is a course registration model-driven app. And so the way my data is set up is I have courses and people can register for those courses. So every course would be a parent item or parent record, and every registration for that course would be a child record. So there's a parent-child relationship or a one-to-many relationship where every one course can have many registrations. And so I can bring that into my view. But you don't get quite as much customization as you would in a Canvas app. Now, there are absolutely different types of pages you can bring into model-driven apps. This is a page built off of a Dataverse table, which is the most common type of page people will bring into a model-driven app, which is where you're going to bring those views and forms in. But you can also bring in dashboards, web resources. You can also create custom pages for your model-driven app where you're essentially creating kind of a Canvas app page in your model-driven app. So there's a lot you can do, but model-driven apps are where we are kind of a little bit less low code and a little bit more no code, because it's going to use those components that you put in your Dataverse tables to build the app. And it's very quick. You just choose what tables you're bringing into your model-driven app, and it's going to bring in those existing views and forms. Now, you can also create specific forms for specific model-driven apps or specific views for specific model-driven apps. And you can decide which ones are accessible inside of the application. So right now I'm looking at an editable grid. What that means is I can come in here and I can change anything about this record from the grid. But I have other views as well. So I have a calendar view, and these are views that I have incorporated into this model-driven app. So you can absolutely add more views, and they can be views that are specific for that model-driven app. So if you have multiple model-driven apps using the same table, you can create different views for the different users of the app, or different views, like this app has these views and this app has these views. Just depends. So you also have the ability to create. So I can hit new, and I have a form here that I've created. I've also got a business process flow on here. So a business process flow is a way to flow your users through data creation, and you can absolutely include them on your forms. In your model-driven apps, you can also have multiple business process flows per table. So again, if you're wanting to have one user see different stages in the business process flow, you can do that. So So everything is going to be role-based in a model-driven app. And so you can set forms for specific users based on security. You can set views, business process flows. All of it is based on your user's security role. And that's why a lot of people are driven towards Dataverse using it, because not only do you get to make model-driven apps, but you have very easy to create security roles and you can have everything set by that security role. Now, there is a third style of application. It is called Power Apps for Teams. So what Power Apps for Teams is you are essentially creating a Canvas app, but you are building it inside of Microsoft Teams. And you might be wondering, Helen, why would I do that? Can't I just build my Canvas app in Power Apps and then publish it and integrate it into a Teams? Absolutely you can. But you can also utilize Power Apps for Teams where you're building it inside of the team. And the reason you might do this is because when you build Power Apps inside of Microsoft Teams, you get a kind of small version of Dataverse, Dataverse Lite, if you will. So when you start building Power Apps inside of Teams, you get an environment that is a Teams environment, and it has a small version of Dataverse. It has about 2 gigs, 1 million rows, whichever you hit first. So this is really great for if you want to kind of dabble with Dataverse, see how it works, but also you know that the data you are including is going to be very lightweight, is not going to exceed that limit, then absolutely I would say, hey, give Dataverse for Teams a go. Now, if you are building a Canvas app inside of Microsoft Teams, it is going to kind of default now to that responsive style. So you'll see that it is filling out my screen. You can absolutely build it as if it was a tablet style, but just know that if your user is kind of minimizing their screen, making it smaller, it is going to attempt to scale. And so I did build this out with that in mind. But if you're not well versed on how to build a responsive style app, you can absolutely just build it as if it was a tablet size. And it just might look a little silly if they have a full screen or if they try to shrink their screen. But I do have this that I've built out here. And so you can absolutely build this out. And once you publish this application, once you save it and publish it, it is immediately available to anyone inside of your team. So definitely something to be mindful of is they will be able to see it as you are building it. But it's great for your light to medium weight applications. Now, if you're interested in learning about how to build any of these apps, we have so many courses on our on-demand learning platform. If you want to learn how to build a culture shoutout app inside of Microsoft Teams, definitely check out our App in a Snap culture shoutout. If you want to see how to build a Canvas app, check out our introduction to Canvas apps. And if you want to see how to build out a model-driven app, check out our building solutions in Dataverse. We have courses for each of these styles of application. And I'm always curious to know, which one do you think you're going to be building? And are you going to be doing a combination? Because you absolutely can. You can have a model-driven app that is for your back office data, your admin data, and you can have a Canvas app that's for your everyday users built off the same Dataverse tables. So let me know in the comments which type of application you prefer.